know it's been a while since I've made an update about Colin's passing. If you haven't heard the 1 month update, click this link right here. But I warn you, you probably will cry. This video is going to clear up a lot of questions that a lot of you have been asking me, and some other questions that people have had for me for a while. These first few questions are going to talk about his work and everything that he used. Will there be any more Elliot Goes to School videos, Moments with Heavy, etc.? Canonically, no. However, you at the very least have my permission to make your own. My only request is that you credit Colin for the original idea. He worked really hard on almost everything he would make, and they would take a while to make. I remember Mass Defect took about a year and a half for him. Team Fabulous, he told me, took about 6 months. Even the Let's Plays that me and him had done took about a month or two to edit. My request is that you let me know somewhere, anywhere, saying, "Hey, Dusty, I'm gonna make a fan video, was that okay?" You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. Send me a message on any of these platforms and I should be able to get back to you. My one favor though, please do not post in the comments of this video, or any of my videos, asking. I'm not going to remember, and I know I'm going to forget. Do you have any files of his, such as character models, maps, etc.? The only things from him that I have are a few unfinished clips that he had, some voice work he did for a few projects he was in years ago, a sound library of all the wacky sounds he would use, and some drawings that he would send to me. Most of these are either screenshots or just work in progresses of artwork that he would make for others. Now, I do apologize, but I'm not letting go of these sound clips for a few reasons. Colin was very strict on handing these out. He didn't want any Joe Schmo using them to the point of meme status. He worked hard in making each and every sound effect he had, especially all the Ed, Edd n Eddy sound clips. Now, for those of you who were part of Bonk Nickeltoon's Gmod collab, who owns these sound clips, I highly ask that you don't use them often, if at all, in future videos. It really wouldn't be fair to him or the integrity of those clips. Everything else that he has should still be on his computer. Which kind of leads me to the next question I've gotten. What happened to and or where is his computer? From what I've seen firsthand, one of his family members now uses it. Out of privacy reasons, I'm not going to say who, but I can only assume that they know not to mess with any of those files that he had. As far as I know, however, they don't use Skype or any kind of social media, so until they're old enough to actually be online, nothing should happen to anything. This next segment is going to cover questions about him specifically. First off, was he a furry? I'm going to make this as plain and simple as possible, because there are people who are still under this assumption. No. He quit the fandom long before he even met me. And while I'm a part of the furry fandom, as well as some of my other friends he's met, during the time that we were together, he never was, and technically now never will be, in the fandom ever again. Drawing anthropomorphic animals does not make one a furry in the same sense that liking anime does not make you a weeaboo. What about his account and his partnership with the gaming network? I've talked with his parents about this a few months back, and neither of them wish to take the channel down. However, should there be some sort of DMCA claim or something like that, and the channel ever gets shut down for whatever reason, you at least have my permission to mirror it. However, again, like making your own version of whatever series that he had, I ask that you credit him. As for the revenue his videos are still currently making, I've heard that his dad is putting it into some sort of account. However, what this money will go towards, I'm not really sure, and nor do I feel comfortable asking about it. Did he have any other scripts for anything? As far as I'm aware of, there are 2 scripts that he gave to me specifically. A Moments with Heavy script, which is currently being worked on either by fans who knew him or who were casted for the movie, and a script he wrote when we first got together called Till and Death Do Us Part, a short about a husband looking for his wife in a zombie apocalypse. I've given this script to Das Bullshit, but if you would like to work on this yourself, once again, message me if you'd like. However, unlike the fan-made tributes, I kinda want someone who knows what they're doing to make this. This script, at least in my opinion, felt like a love letter that he made just for me. Unfortunately, he got leukemia the second time before he started production on it, and sadly, it had fallen to the wayside. Alright, this last section will be questions that people have been asking me specifically. Will you make any Garry's Mod videos? Unfortunately, no. While I have seen tons of fantastic Gmod videos by people in the community, even fans of his, I myself don't really have an interest, the ability, or even just the cash to start using it. I'm just not into playing video games, save for what I grew up with. I'd rather just focus my time on making art and spending time with friends, and games are just too hard for me.
Will you go out with me?
No. This is a really, really rude question to ask someone who's lost their soulmate. And while a few of you haven't asked it directly, I know full well that this is your intention. It's not many of you, but the handful that have know who they are. How have you been handling this? Honestly, it's been a roller coaster. As I mentioned in the last update, this has been the largest emotional turmoil that I've ever had to deal with. Some days I'm perfectly fine, like it's just another day, and other days I just hate myself and wish that I was the one who had leukemia and not Colin.
Oh, but you're so funny and cool, and that's why you loved you. Whoa!
Truth be told, I really don't consider myself funny or cool or anything like that. Colin was the one everyone liked, which I feel puts an even bigger responsibility on me. I feel like you guys think I'm gonna replace him, which couldn't really be further from the truth. Colin got along with everyone and loved socializing, while I just want to stay home and make art and videos all day long. He can make you laugh, cry, and even pull a story out of his ass like it was nothing, while I feel that anything that comes out of my mouth is either really awkward or just cringe-inducing. Even long before Colin, this was how I thought about myself for a really long time, and I'm shocked he even saw anything in me to begin with, but I can never thank him enough for coming into my life, regardless of whether I'm happy that he's possibly watching over me, or at the very least not in pain anymore, or upset that I can't ever cuddle him or kiss him or do anything romantic with him again. One thing is always going to remain. From what his father told me, the very last thing that he thought of before he died was me, and how much he'll always love me. And to be honest, I couldn't be more proud of this, at least with myself. I was with someone for the rest of their life and kept them happy for as long as possible. And it's a really momentous accomplishment that most people never even think about, let alone try to do. But at the same time though, I feel like he was taken away too fast and too soon. I never even got to properly say goodbye to him. And while I do thank everyone who's made a tribute video of some sort for him, the fact that I was unable to properly do that will pretty much haunt me, probably for the rest of my life. So what are you going to do now? We're going to move on to somebody else? You know what? I actually discussed this with him before he passed, and he told me to just do whatever makes me happy. As of making this video, I really don't plan to look for anyone. Even if something less traumatic happened where I would still never see him again, such as a breakup or him moving away or something like that. There really isn't anyone who meets the standards of what I'm looking for in someone, let alone someone close. Maybe one day when I finally feel better about this and stop crying every other night over Colin's death, I'll get back into the dating scene, but with this, along the fact that I've gained a lot of weight, started drinking, and just have tons and tons of stuff reminding me of him. Even things that aren't even directly related to him to most of his fans, like his favorite food, his favorite movies, etc. I'm just gonna stay away from looking for anyone for a while. Probably forever. Anyway, this is all the most common questions that I've gotten so far. And if I get any more questions about me, or him, or us that I feel that I'm able to answer, I'm probably going to make another video about it. Anyways, that's it. and I hope this cleared up any questions that you or anyone that you know had.